Hello YouTube, this is William. Forgive the chainsaw, you're gonna hear a chainsaw. We got neighbors been clearing land for the last 14 years. All right, it's constant. I don't know how he has that many trees. Sometimes I think he's just out there just eating. All right, but I got a mic on, I got a cover on, and maybe you guys can hear me. All right. Okay. I have 34 knives on the list, and so might want to pause the video right now, go get you a pen and paper, get you a beverage of choice, and sit back with the remote in your hand so that you can pause and write. And it's going to be a long video, folks, because we're going to go through the specs. I'm going to give you some background on each of these knives and have a little fun. The sale will not be live until Friday, which is December the 9th at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. So it'll be 6 o'clock East Coast, 5 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Mountain, and 3 o'clock Pacific, okay? And that is PM. I don't do these things at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, okay? Just before evening time, or maybe evening time wherever you live, all right? Okay, so without further ado, sheaths will come with those that I tell you a sheath comes with. Otherwise, the pricing will be just for the knife. If there's a sheath with it, the pricing will include the sheath, okay? So I do have one sheath that will be on the website. It's 8 and 9 ounce leather, right-handed. It will fit the WCSK or the Woodsman's belt knife, okay? So either one of those, it will be on the website as well. These will be on my website under Shop Knives webpage. That's WCKnives.com. Go up to the right-hand corner, click on the little 3 dashes. Menu will drop down, and it will say Shop Knives. I click on that, and you will see a listing that will say none available for until 5 o'clock Friday, December the 9th. Then the listing will pop live that has the pricing, or that has the option to buy. There will be a listing before then that will give you pricing and kind of give you an idea of where to find your knife and all this other stuff, and get prepared. It will say sold out. They're not sold out until after Friday, December the 9th at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, PM. Okay? All right. I hope all of that is clear as mud. Okay. Well, let's get started. Okay, first one out of the box is the original, one of a kind, only one in its existence, Stranded Woodsman. It is made out of 3/16 01. This was back when I was doing the forging. Handle is horse mat. It's rubber horse mat. I mean, you would have to want to get rid of this to get for it to come out of your hand. It has scratches, it has scuffs, because it will come with a Kydex sleeve, okay? Has a belt loop for a belt to go through, and it will hang on the left-hand side as a cross draw, okay? 3/16 01. Blade is 7.5. Widest part is 1 7/8. Overall, including the hammer pommel, is 13 5/8. The handle portion is a double grip handle. It's 5.5. So you can grab onto it with both hands if you wanted to and use it as an axe. Yeah, I thought maybe I'd touch up the grind, but no. We're gonna leave it just like as I originally ground this thing when I first came out and started exploring the Woodsman's grind, okay? So the pins on this is stainless steel, and yeah, Like I say, if you want to know pricing, it's on the website under the Shop Knives webpage. There is a listing now that you can go to, find out where it's at, where the sale's going to be at, and get the pricing on all of these, okay? But they will not be available to buy until Friday, December the 9th, okay? All right. Next one is a one-of-a-kind. This is a prototype black canvas micarta made from, that may be a heavy 1/8 inch or a 5/32. I'm not sure, but it's AEBL. This is the old shadow stamp. See the shadow stamp? So it means a prototype. This is a saber that has a Scandi grind, a saber that thins it down a little bit, and a saber grind all the way through, okay? So anyway, blade is 3.5. Widest part at the tooth is 1.5. Handle is 4 7/8. Overall is 8.5. Okay. Trying to figure out a way to name this so you can find it. We're just going to call this the a WCNK prototype. This was after the NK, but just for namesake, we're going to call it the WCNK or just NK. So we shorten it down a little bit. Prototype has a little bit different grind. It has a blended flat going into this this saber portion. Okay. So anyway, there you have it. That's a great little knife right there. Anybody wants a skinning knife? Wow, that one's ringing your bell right there. All right, next one is a Taskmaster. This one's going to be available before they even come available. This is the one that I was using for pictures and all that good stuff. It's Nitro V. And this is what I was using for marketing. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put it on sale. People's going to ask me what's on my belt. Okay, I'm going to show you what's on my belt. It's a Taskmaster made from MagnaCut. Okay, I told you guys I was going to give it a longer look. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm testing it out to see if I was not totally correct on the MagnaCut. Okay, but anyway, we're going to test it out. We're going to give it a thorough trial and see if my opinion on it changes. So anyway, I will say this, it will get sharp, like the AEBO will get sharp. So that's one plus in the category for a crucible steel, that the others just didn't seem to get as sharp as the AEBL, but this one seems to. All right, okay. The blade on this Taskmaster is 3.5. Overall is 7 3/4. Width is 1 inch. Handle is 4 inch. Okay. So there you go. Nitro V. Thumb scallops. This knife, since I'm using it as a carving knife, the only portion that is 90 degree is from here to the tip. This part here is rounded off, okay? So to do those push cuts and all that, but this part here, see there? It's sharp, okay? It's a 90 degree spine. All right, fantastic knife. Okay, here is another prototype, and this is just going to be called teak prototype because the handle is teak with thick black liners and black pins. Nitro V. This is a prototype that I'm going to come out with eventually, but it's sitting in the drawer gathering dust. It needs to be used, okay? So maybe somebody can do a test. Whoever gets this, kind of give me some feedback on this design. But I think it would be a skinning jewel. This would be a hunter, woodsman / bushman's dream knife right here. Okay, widest part is 1 1/8. It is made from probably 5/32 nitro V. All right. And blade length is 3 5/8. Overall is 8 1/4. Okay. Has one of those bird beak handles. Teak. I really like that shape on this size knife on the handles, because I mean you still get purchased to do the chopping, but it's really not as good as a longer, heavier knife to do that. But I mean you still can do it. It's just that's not its primary and secondary and third function. But man, comfortable in the hand. I really like this design. I really do. I will come back to this at some point. All right. This one has a 90-degree spine. All of them have 90-degree spine unless I tell you otherwise, okay? But even if I don't, they will have a 90-degree spine somewhere on the blade, okay? Even if they're carving knives or whittling knives that I've rounded the spine on just a little bit. So it protects the thumb. Okay, now I've got a necessity, a slim, a couple of stickies, and I'm gonna make this, I know people have got them ordered. These were the knives that I was using to do the marketing, and so the pictures and everything else on the website, so I'm gonna go ahead and sell them. Now, if you have one of these on sale or on ordered, and you wanna buy one of these, I will refund, if you request it, I will refund and cancel your pending order, okay? Just to be fair to everybody. Again, if you purchase this necessity right here, and you have one on order, and you request it in the customer comments that you want a credit for your one on order, then I will cancel and refund the original order, okay? Hope that's clear as mud. And that goes for any sticky, slim, and necessity. There's also a couple of slicks here that we're gonna do the same thing, okay? All right, necessity, there you go, AEBL, and it will come with a Kydex sleeve, like so. And the blade is scuffed up and scratched. It will come like that because Kydex does that, all right? Blade on it is 3 inches. Overall is 6 3/4. And it does say first run on it. Okay? All right. Okay, got a slim. This is camo Sure Touch with orange pins. And it will come with a Kydex sleeve. I don't have one to show you, but it will come with a Kydex sleeve. Made out of AEBL. The reason I don't ship these to the ones that's got them on order already is look at the date. The date will not jive with when they're actually released and shipped out, okay? So trying to keep things as much organized as I can, all right? That's the reason I don't ship these to individuals. Also, this knife was used, I don't say used, it was tested, let's put it that way, on a buffalo trip that I went on. So anyway, it's not really a new knife. Matter of fact, all of these were tested on the camp that time. So they're probably considered used, but anyway. And then I have the matching sticky with camo Sure Touch and orange pins made out of AEBL. Okay. And I have a black sticky, and all these will come with Kydex sleeves, okay? I have a black sticky with black Sure Touch and black pins, okay? And again, all of these will come with sleeves. My mother just decided to come to work. It's 8:43 in the morning. I've been at it hard since about 2 o'clock this morning, and Mom just now comes to work. That's how it works around here.
Mom is privileged.
I guess she is privileged. All right, okay. Next one is old. I think this was a Firebug that I put some G10 scales on. This one is well tested. Let's put it that way. It is 01 tool steel. See the old hand stamp WC on it. Has a scanny going into a blended full flat, or just a blended distal taper, I guess you'd call it. It is made from 3/16 01. Blade at the widest part is 1 inch. Blade length is 3.5. Overall is 7 3/4. And it will come with this cryptic Kydex sleeve, like so. Okay. All right, now we're going to talk about some slicks. And again, if you have a slick on order that has not been shipped, and you purchase one of these and you want a refund on the one that you have pending, then put that comment in the customer remarks and I will refund the original purchase, okay? So that's as fair as I can make this, all right? But I got to get rid of them. I can't keep them in drawers forever, all right? Okay, this one is kind of a, I don't know if you'll call it a second or what, but the handle on it cracked right there and I repaired it. So that's the reason I didn't ship this out to an individual. But there's nothing wrong with the knife. It's fine. It's just that if you look real close, you can see that, okay? Anyway, there you go. And if you don't know what the specs on the slick, it is made from, I think that's 1/8 inch. Yeah, 1/8 inch AEBL. Blade on it is 3.5 to the handle. Overall is 7 inches. We'll call it 7 inches. Okay. This one, the spine is rounded until about right there. Then that portion there is a 90. Okay. It will come with this sheath, Kydex sheath. Okay. And now the next slick. Are you sitting down? Grab a drink, whatever you're drinking. Get your notepad ready. Ooh. Look at that stag. The reason I put a stag handle on this one is because the grind got further in than what the typical slick is. Or is that a slick? Yeah, slick. Getting mixed up on the names. But AEBL. So I liked how the grind turned out, and I'm not going to throw the blade away. So, but it's not your typical slick. So I had a little piece of stag that just fitted. So I put that stag on there, and I found this old sheath in the drawer, and it looks like that it's been waiting for this knife right here. So there you go. Now this is a very generous portion of stag, okay? And it will fill your hand up. I wear large gloves, so if you like large handles, this one right here is calling your name, all right? Give you some specs. Blade length is 3 1/4. Overall is 6 7/8. Okay, just kind of give you an idea of how thick that handle is. It's 1 inch. Let's call it 1 1/4 inches. Okay. But yeah, I like that. I had to force myself to put this one in the cell, but I can't use them all. All right. Okay, now we're going to talk about some sloids that, master sloids that I've been playing around with. And these are going to be labeled according to handles. Okay, so we're just going to call them sloid with, and you'll say plum with black pins, or plum with red pins, or walnut with red pins, okay? All right, the first one is made from AEBL, has black walnut scales with red pins and a green liner. Okay, very nice little knife. Again, the spine is rounded up to that portion right there, and that portion there is a 90 degree. Okay, blade width is 7/8. Length is blade length is 3 1/8. Overall is let's say 6 7/8. 1/8 inch AEBL. Okay, wonderful little knife, really is. Okay, the next one has plum scales Nitro V. That plum is just unbelievable how much vigor there's in that plum. I hope that camera catches it. See, the grind is a little bit different, how it blends straight into the Scandi portion there. Yeah, blends in there. It's a little bit different grind. But anyway, for a small knife, it fills up the hand very nicely. 1/8 inch Nitro V. Blade width at the tooth is 7/8. To the handle, tip to handle is 3 1/8. Overall is 7 1/4. Again, plum with black pins and a black liner. Okay, now this one is plum with burgundy pins and a burgundy liner. Okay, a little bit thinner handle. Somebody likes a little bit thinner handle, then this one is Calling Your Name. It's got little thumb scallops there. Again, spine is rounded till about right there, about 1 inch from the tip, a little less, for those finger push cuts. Made from 1/8 inch Nitro V. The blade is just over 3 inches. Overall is 7 1/8, and it will come with this sheath. Has a pocket clip. It's waxed, so it's kind of stiff and clicks in, if you can hear that. Well, hear that? I did mess up the sheath right here on the end. I was going to put a cross draw belt loop on there, and I've got 3 little holes in there, but it doesn't hurt the sheath. It's just aesthetics. But anyway, so blade on it. I don't know if I give you the specs or not, but we'll do it again if I did. 3 1/8. Overall is 7 1/8. And the handle, since it's so narrow, I'll go ahead and give you the width on the handle. It's less than 3/4. It's just over 5/8. Okay. There you go. I don't know if it fit in there the other way or not. Yeah, sure. It go either way, left or right. Look at that. All right. Okay, now here is the Magna Cut Fillmore. Right here, it has plum scales with the same burgundy pins and burgundy liners. So it matches this little knife here. If you want to see it, here you go. Fillmore, I put first run on it, even though the first runs are not released. And again, if you have a first or a Fillmore on order, and you would rather have this one, and you want a refund on your other Fillmore, then let me know in the comments when you buy it that you want a credit for the Fillmore that you have on order. Now, this does not apply for anything you have on order. It's just model for model, okay? At the tooth, the blade width is 1 1/4. Blade length is 4 5/8. Overall to the extended pommel is 9 3/8. very nice knife. Okay, are you sitting down? This is the one everybody's been wanting. I've got all kinds of offers and emails and stuff, but I try to keep fair with everybody, so I'm gonna give everybody the opportunity to get this one. This is the AEBL Fillmore that has been in so many videos, and this has a very, very thick handle. If you have small hands, you will not like this knife, okay? Because I have large hands and it's a lot of handle, okay? It will come with this sheath, okay? Again, it is a wax impregnated sheath and fits very nicely in the sheath, okay? Just kind of give you an idea of the width on this handle. It is 1 3/8. Yeah, 1 3/8. So it's pretty wide. The blade width is, just say 1 1/4. Blade length is 4 1/2. Overall is 9 1/4. Okay, and again, pricing is on the website. You will see a listing under the Shop Knives webpage, but they will say sold out until Friday, December the 9th at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, PM Central Standard Time. Then another listing will pop up that'll give you the option to buy, okay? The listing that you can see now is just so you know what pricing is. All right, next one is a baby bird. This was from the first runs. Has green Sure Touch handles. Even has the Texas stamp with the E. This is before I started putting the type of steel inside the Texas. Okay. Blade is, to the handle is just under 4 inches. Overall is 9 1/8. Handle length, this is a pretty long handle. I don't know if this is standard or not. It's 5 inches. That's a pretty long handle. That may be the reason I kept this one, because the handle was different. I don't know. There you go. Okay, I have a Sportsman's Choice. Again, this is a prototype C. Has a shadow stamp. Very old model. Okay, has a Texas stamp on the back. If you look real close, you can see the indent in the steel where the pressure stamp concave the steel a little bit. Okay. Has the Scandi going into a full flat. It's made from AEBL. These Master Sportsman's, or not Master Sportsman, but Sportsman's Choice has a little bit of flex, not a whole lot, but a little bit. Handle is camo Sure Touch with burgundy pins and a burgundy liner. Blade width, and this is prototype C. Did I say it had a shadow stamp? It don't have a shadow stamp. It just has a regular stamp. But anyway, it is a prototype C. Blade width at the tooth is 1 1/4. Blade length is 5 5/8. Overall is, let's say 10 1/2. Handle is 4 3/4. Has a very, very thick handle. So if you have large hands, you really like this knife. Mom says it'd be a good kitchen knife. She has one, so she should know. 1 inch. 1 inch wide. All right, good night. I was keeping this for myself, but again, they're stacking up in the drawers. This, just to kind of give you guys an idea, this is everything I have in the drawers, but except for like the first Hog's Tooth, I'm keeping that one. The first Master Woodsman, I'm keeping that one. The first WCSKs, I'm keeping those. But everything else, I have nothing else in the drawers, hidden away in boxes. This is it. Okay, so this is the last one of our prototype sale it's for a while, and I just saw something I forgot to mention. Okay, an aesthetic issue with the little slick. See the little hole there? And also it cracked. I had to do a repair on the back side of it, okay? Just kind of full disclosure, okay? But it is acrylic infused, so it's not going anywhere, and got epoxy on the handle, so, but it's under warranty, just in case. All right. So anyway, this is the last one of our prototype sale for the foreseeable future because I have nothing left. All right, this is when I first decided to change this model from Nessie 2 to Master Craftsman, and you can see where I laser. This is back when I first got the laser, and I just got a little crazy with it. But anyway, you can see Nessie 2 under there. And on top of that, I lasered Master Craftsman. And I was checking to make sure that it didn't mess with the heat treat. So there's all kinds of little dots. And if you see little dots on these blades, it means that they've been tested, Rockwell tested many times for different reasons. One of them may be because I forgot what the testing was at, so I had to go back and redo it. But anyway, there was some time waiting in between that. But anyway, so this is one of the first ones. This was back in May of 21. Okay, you can see the date on there. So this is back when I first got the laser. And anyway, the handle on this is cross-cut brown micarta with black pins and a black liner. Okay, but this is the Master Craftsman. This is probably the first one that I named Master Craftsman. Before that, they were kind of called Nessie 2s. But anyway, blade on it is 3 3/4 to the handle. The widest part of the blade is 1 inch. Handle length is 4 1/4. Okay. Did I give you overall? Is 8 inches. 8 inches overall. Okay. All right. I use this knife quite a bit, so it's well tested. All right. Now this is it was an NK, but the grind on it is just a little bit different. It's not a whole lot different, but a little bit different. So anyway. It's just an AEBL NK, modified NK. Let's just call it a modified NK. Handle on it, I think that's green. Is that green, Mom? You know, all men are colorblind. It's a true fact because I get told that quite often. It's green. Okay, green canvas micarta. We're gonna call it a modified NK. All right. So specs on it. At the tooth is 1 3/8. Blade length is 3 3/8. Overall is 8 inches. Okay, and these are gonna kind of look a little dirty, but hey, it's just aged. Okay, it's been in the drawer. These are hand stamped, so at least 2 to 3 years old, at least that. I'll be honest, I don't know how old they are, but at least 3 years old. All right. Okay, now I've got some WCSKs. And again, if you have a WCSK that is after 8/15, because those are the ones that's being handled right now. So if it's after 8/15 and you want one of these, then tell me in the comments when you purchase it that you want credit for the one on order, okay? And I cancel that order and refund that one, okay? But these are not serialized, or they have been X'd out. The serial numbers have been X'd out because they're duplicates. For whatever reason, the serial number was duplicated, and so I X'd out the serial number, so these are not non-serialized SKs. This one is hand stamped This was pre-laser, and it's 01, okay? If you want to know what the specs are, just look on the listing on my website. But I'll give you specs on one, and all of them are the same. 3/16 stock steel. Blade on it's 5.5. Overall is 10.5. This one is 3/16 01, okay? And it has the old hand stamp on it, okay? So again, handle is green micarta. They're base models. So there you have it. Then I have two that are Nitro V that the serial numbers have been X'd out on. And how they're going to be separated or differentiated is one has a brown lanyard and the other one has a black lanyard, okay? So we're going to say black WCSK black lanyard, and we're going to say WCSK brown lanyard. All right, and this one is going to be named 01 WCSK, okay? Clear as mud? All right. Huh? Yeah, ain't nothing I can do about that. I've already warned them. I've got two to bones that I probably messed the grinds up on, and so I salvaged them. So here's one with a green handle, and this is AEBL. Has a very thick handle, so if you like a very thin knife, goes into a full flat. Not hardly any flex at all. I wouldn't call that any flex. It's a very stiff blade, but still very thin. I think it's like 3/32 AEBL. See, it has the Texas stamp on it. And these are hand stamped. This was from the first run of To the Bones. Okay. Blade length on this from the very fine tip is 5 1/8. Overall is 9 1/2. Okay, that's one of them. Green handle, green canvas micarta, brass pins. Okay, and here's the brown handle one, our natural canvas micarta, and this one is very, very thin. See where it was thinned down? About here. Has a lot of flex. So if you want a very flexible blade, skinning blade, this one ringing your phone right now. Generous portion of handle. Again, to the bone, hand stamp from first run. Was a Texas stamp with the E before I started putting them in the Texas. So it's AEBL. Anytime you see an E on the blade, it means it's AEBL. Okay. Blade length is 5 1/4. Overall is 9 1/2. Talking about a crappie fillet knife right there. That'll get her done. Okay. I've got two daily chores. This one's AEBL. See, the stamp was hand stamped. It didn't take all the way. Also, the handle on it was too short. I got the AEB too close. So it should have been out to here with a little bit longer handle. So it's got a short handle. It's thick, but it's short, okay? So it's gonna be labeled daily chore short handle, okay? So you know which one this one is. The cutting edge is 3 1/2. The finger choil is this portion here is, let's say, 1 1/8. Handle, just the handle micarta portion is 3 3/4. Overall is 8 7/8, including the extended pommel. Okay, full flat grind, AEBL. So we've been actually using this in the shop for years. So anyway, shop knife, gonna go. Been well tested. Okay, here's one that has been in a drawer for ages. Handle was too thin, got too thin there. It's dirty, it's nasty. It's been washed, it just won't come clean. But anyway, it's too good of a knife to sit in a drawer. So it's full flat daily chore. The handle comes up further than the, this is like the old style daily chore. But anyway, very long handle. So if you got wide hands, this is probably a good knife for you. And I think this is 01. I'm not sure what kind of steel it is, but I think it's 01. The logo on it has been acid etched. It's not lasered and it's not hand stamped. So I think this was salvaged a long time ago. Instead of throwing the blade away, I just made a shop knife out of it. This may be the shop knife. I'm not sure. Anyway, black canvas micarta with stainless pins. 4-inch blade, 9-inch overall. Handle is 5 inches. So it's actually pretty comfortable. But anyway, yeah, it's 01 because it has a little bit of a discoloration right there. So it's 01. All right, now here's some that I'm not sure what they were salvaged from, but I messed up some grinding, so I changed the design on it instead of having to throw the steel away. Okay, this one is black canvas micarta, AEBL, has a blended saber, has kind of a Nesmuk-y point to it, sort of, kind of, almost. Hand stamped. We're going to call this as a blended saber black micarta is what it's going to be called on the website. Blade on it's 5 inches. Overall is 9.5. It looks like it's 5/32 stock is what it looks like. These daily chores was 5/32. Okay. Here's a brown one. We're just going to call this one a brown spear point. That may be a drop point. They call it a brown drop point. High saber. AEBL with a Texas stamp in it. See the E inside the Texas? That's how I went at some point. Blade on it is 4 7/8. Overall is 9 5/8. Handle is 4.5. And this is just aged natural micarta that goes brown after a while. Okay. And I have a black version. And again, this is going to be a black drop point with AEBL in the stamp. Blade to the handle is 4 7/8. Overall is 9.5. Okay, now I've got a couple of narrows that was messed up on that we're salvaging. This is, handle is very, very narrow. So we're going to call this the narrow handle. And got this a little bit narrow in here. Handle on it is just, I mean, it's just very small. So if you like small handles, here's a good option for you. It's AEBL. See how the AE is kind of faded a little bit. And the old hand stamp on the WC is a little faded. But anyway, this was, I was probably teaching somebody how to do handles, and they got a little carried away on that one. Surely I didn't do that. Okay, blade on it's 4 1/8. Overall is 8 3/4. And just kind of give you an idea on the handle at the widest part at the palm is 1 1/4 inches, under 1 1/4 inches, just over 1 1/8 inches. Length on it, length is fine. Length is 4 1/2. It's just as kind of narrow right there. So, but Somebody will like that. Okay, and here's another one that's was really thin. And please don't beat on these knives because they're not going to handle it, okay? There's just not much steel there. Okay, kind of a modified narrow. Has, I think that's black micarta. It's aged micarta, let's just put it that way. I think it's black micarta with brass pins. AEBL blade on it is 4 inches. Overall is 8 3/4. So we're gonna call these narrow handle and narrow blade. Okay, because the blade's real narrow right here. Again, this is not a bushcraft knife. Don't beat on this knife, it will break. All right. Okay, here's one that was salvaged from grinds. I don't know if this was from, I think this is pre-Alaskan Scout, to be honest with you. It's a lot shorter than the Alaskan Scout, but it's similar. Again, it has several different test spots on it that tested to make sure that the Rockwell was good on it. There's several knives that way. Scandi into a blended, I don't know if it's a saber or full flat. It's a distal taper type thing. At the belly, this was before the, I think, Stitch Gear Outfitters has a model that's similar to this. Not quite, but close. There's a couple of models that's similar to this, but anyway, I guess after you've done them long enough, they all kind of resemble each other. Widest part is 1 1/8 inches. Blade is to the handle 4 1/2. Overall is 9 3/8. Black canvas micarta. Hand stamped in AEBL. 5/32. And the last one is, we're going to call this a thumb ramp skinner, okay? Let's just call it a thumb ramp skinner. Saber, it's AEBL, 1/8 inch. I think that's 1/8 inch. It looks more 1/8 inch than 5/32. Brown canvas micarta. From tip to handle is 4 7/8. Overall is 9 1/4. Okay. All right. That looks like there's 50 minutes of this video, but you got all the information I can give you on these knives. If I forgot something, then please ask it in the comments below. But I wish everyone the best of I won't say luck because I don't believe in luck, but I wish you all the best. And I hope you get the one that you want, but I know everybody's not going to get the one they want, but at least I hope you're satisfied with it. Let's just put it that way. I would recommend selecting several so that as priorities, and that way maybe you get at least one of the knives that you like. And again, if there's a model that you have on order that has not been shipped yet, and you buy one from this sale, put in the comments that you want to credit or you want to cancel the whatever model is on order. And what would help is if you had the order number so that I know which one to cancel, okay? That would help. But anyway, appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Best friends in the world. I appreciate you every day. Allow me to live my dream. Thank you so much. Until next one, you get in the backyard, whittle on a stick. Be sure and take a child with you, get the opportunity. And don't forget those painted band-aids and lots of knives. We'll catch you again very soon.